The cockpit of an aircraft is often thought of as a sanctuary of calm professionalism. But in those rare, tragic moments when things go catastrophically wrong, it can become a place of sheer terror. The last words of pilots facing imminent disaster offer a chilling glimpse into the final seconds of doomed flights. "We're falling. We're falling." These panicked words echoed through the cockpit of Indonesia AirAsia Flight 8501 on December 28, 2014. The raw fear in the pilot's voice is enough to make anyone's blood run cold. In those moments, 162 lives hum in the balance, with the crew helpless to change their fate. Sometimes it's not panic but eerie calm that sends shivers down our spine. Consider the pilot of Silk Air Flight 185 who simply stated, "It's time," on December 19, 1997, moments before the aircraft plummeted into the Musi River. The resignation in those two short words speaks volumes about the hopelessness of the situation. "Mayday, Mayday, we've lost all engines." This was the desperate call from the cockpit of US Airways Flight 1549 on January 15, 2009. Remarkably, Captain Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger managed to land the aircraft on the Hudson River, saving all 155 people on board. In some cases, the last words we hear are not in English, adding an extra layer of mystery and unease. The pilots of Germanwings Flight 9525 on March 24, 2015 captured on the cockpit voice recorder saying in German, "Mach die Tür auf," open the door, leaves us to imagine the horror unfolding as the co-pilot deliberately crashed the plane. "We're not going to make it. Tell my family I love them." These heartbreaking words were spoken by the pilot of Khmer Flight 5191 on August 27, 2006, moments before the plane crashed during takeoff, killing 49 of the 50 people on board. Sometimes it's a simple exclamation that chills us to the bone. "Oh no," two words uttered by the pilots of Air France Flight 447 on June 1, 2009, capturing the sudden realization that something had gone terribly, irreversibly wrong over the Atlantic Ocean. What's happening? What's going on? The confusion in these questions, heard on the cockpit voice recorder of Air France Flight 447, is almost worse than outright panic. They paint a picture of a situation spiraling out of control, with even the trained professionals at a loss to understand or prevent what's unfolding. In rare and disturbing cases, we hear evidence of conflicts in the cockpit during the final moments. "Get your hands off the controls," shouted the captain of Egyptair Flight 990 on October 31, 1999, seconds before the plane plunged into the Atlantic Ocean. "I rely on God." These words, captured on the black box recorder of Egyptair Flight 990, take on a chilling significance when paired with the knowledge that investigators later suspected intentional action by the co-pilot. The intersection of faith and possible malice creates a deeply unsettling scenario. Sometimes the most haunting messages are those cut short. "We're going to crow" was all that was heard from Pacific Southwest Airlines Flight 1771 on December 7, 1987, before it crashed following an onboard shooting incident. Goodbye, everybody. The finality of this farewell, spoken calmly into the radio by the pilot of Japan Airlines Flight 123 on August 12, 1985, is deeply disturbing. It's a stark reminder that for some pilots, there comes a moment when they know, with absolute certainty, that they will not survive. In some cases, we hear the gradual realization of impending doom. "We're too low, we're too low, we're too low." These were among the last words heard from Asian Airlines Flight 214 before it crashed on July 6, 2013, at San Francisco International Airport. I love you all." These poignant last words were spoken by the captain of United Airlines Flight 93 on September 11, 2001, to his family via airphone, encapsulating the profound responsibility felt by those entrusted with so many lives. Even in the face of certain death, thoughts turn to those who will be left behind. The black box recording of Air France Flight 296 on June 26, 1988, captured a series of alarms blaring in the background, with the pilot shouting, "No, no," over and over. The futility of those exclamations, knowing the outcome, is truly chilling. Sometimes it's not words but sounds that haunt us. The last thing heard on the cockpit recorder of Polish Air Force Tu-154 on April 10, 2010 was not speech, but the sound of impact as it crashed near Smolensk, killing all 96 on board, including the Polish president. "We've lost control. God help us." This plea, combining professional assessment with a desperate appeal to a higher power, was heard from the cockpit of Flash Airlines Flight 604 on January 3, 2004, capturing the moment when skill and technology were no longer enough. "Let's take it to the max." These words, spoken with bravado, preceded the fatal maneuver of Air France Flight 296 on June 26, 1988, a grim reminder of the fine line between confidence and recklessness in aviation. Terrain, pull up. It's not always the pilots we hear, but the automated warnings of the aircraft itself. These were among the last sounds recorded on American Airlines Flight 965 before it crashed into a mountain in Colombia on December 20, 1995. Some last messages are heartbreakingly mundane. "All right, good night," said the pilot of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, signing off for what would be the last time on March 8, 2014. The routine nature of these words, knowing what followed, adds an extra layer of tragedy to the loss. In the end, these final transmissions serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of human life and the enormous responsibilities shouldered by those who take to the skies. They are voices from the edge of oblivion, final testaments to courage, fear, professionalism, and sometimes despair. Each one tells a story that ended too soon, leaving behind only these haunting last words as a chilling epitaph.